With aviation, they're fairly confident that there's nothing there from that point. So we did do some ground searching both sides last night as well, so that area is covered. So we have everything marked out as far as the map of what's been covered by on foot, and then what's been done by drone, and then what's been covered by aviation, and then recovered by aviation. So we're keeping track of all those areas.
So tell me, you guys were called out here today because there was a video surveillance of him going through that gate.
Correct. Yeah, it's just north, outside of private property. He was captured on a video of walking. We're fairly certain that that's the individual, Mark, that we're looking for, based on witnesses, owners, owner of the company that he worked for. So that's why we're trying to focus our efforts this morning were to that area behind the area that we saw him walking on. And unfortunately, we weren't successful. We haven't seen any clues, any clothing, nothing that would lead us to the point that he's in that area. But there was about 60 to 70 volunteers, both fire, law enforcement, and then family members mostly that are out here covering that area.
And then you also checked Diver Lake this morning, or state police did?
State police had aviation again out this morning, as well as state police divers. Extensively covered that Divers Lake area to the best of their ability. So they had full visual of the lake in the bottom, so they were able to come back, and we were fairly certain that there's nothing found in that area as well.
There are other lakes in that area on Miser Road. Somebody mentioned that there's a cabin out there. I know he frequented Diver Lake, but are there any other lakes in the area you might want to check?
Those were checked, and because of the both by aviation and by foot, so there's not any foot traffic leading up to the water, so we're able to check that and see if there had to be a way to get in there, so we're able to check those areas as well between yesterday afternoon and then this morning as well. And we are going back and double checking areas that we checked yesterday: barns, outhouses, sheds, abandoned buildings. Pretty much we went from about a quarter mile, now we're out to about a half a mile area, and we're probably extending out beyond a half a mile today.
How much area have you covered at this point, and what are just give an overview of the areas that you have covered?
It's a mixture of some open fields, but then there's just a lot of hedgerows and ditches that we've checked. Again, outbuildings, private residences, any buildings that were not secured that he might be able to get into. We've checked those, from campers to barns, sheds, areas like that, vehicles that he might have been in. And then from there, it is into some wooded areas, and there's some heavily wooded areas, and with ledges and fairly tough terrain to kind of walk through, very thick brush. But with the amount of people that we had, they were about 5 foot apart walking through these areas. So we're very confident that the areas that we searched this morning, that we've covered it with great certainty.
And so what's the area you're going to next, you said?
Again, a heavily wooded area. There are some trails through that, but it's wooded because we're not at full foliage. Some areas are fairly easy to see and look around, and some areas are going to be more condensed, and we have to walk a little bit slower. At this point, we're just worried about any of the volunteer family members or anyone getting injured, so we're taking some precautions, making sure that they're careful out there and everybody's accounted for.
Okay, and you have an ambulance on scene, I saw also.
We do as well. That was, primarily for all the folks that are out here helping today.
Okay, and so approximately you said there's 60, 70 people out here?
I would say between 60 and 70 people.
Yeah, that's a large search group that, is
it
out
is.
here today.
It is. A lot of people, and, that's what it's going to take, to try to isolate those areas. But unfortunately, like I said, we're searching the areas that we think he's in, and after that, it's going to be, hopefully we get some more intelligence from people that may have seen him. So we're always looking for people that know Mark and have seen him to please call 911, let us know, or the sheriff's office, so we can get some information.
It sounds like he knew this area pretty well.
He does, yeah. I mean, it's through the family members and conversations that he, grew up in this area his whole life. He knows all these areas off the road, through the trails, a lot of trails through these woods, a lot of ponds, open water. So that's why we're checking all those type places.
But those are all difficult places to check. They're not easy.
Yeah, some are fairly easy. Some are okay to walk up, and then other ones are very, very dangerous to walk through. So, that's why it takes some time to get through this and keep everybody organized, keep everybody safe.
Kind of what's your plan? Is there you quit at dark and come back tomorrow, or where do you go from here?
We'll evaluate probably this afternoon. We've got there's a state forest ranger coming up, and we spoke to him on the phone. So we'll have a conversation with him as well, and kind of get our heads together and kind of figure out if there's a game plan or if any other information comes to us. Then we'll evaluate that as it goes throughout this day. But I'm fairly certain we'll be working throughout this afternoon to this evening, and then we'll reevaluate where we go from there.